right, so do you or do you not let your kid spend the night in a hotel room post-prom? That's the email that we got. Now, if you got something going on in your life, you want to share it with the Bert Show, we turn around and we share it with Bert Show fam all around the country. Hit us up at thebertshow.com, and Kristen has the email.
My husband and I are on completely opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to our daughter spending the night at a hotel with her friends after prom. She's a senior in high school, and so is her boyfriend. They've been dating since sophomore year, and we adore him. The plan is to do a giant group photo of their friend group at a local park. Then they'll head to dinner, go to prom, and lastly, the entire friend group is going to a hotel for the night. They've gotten multiple rooms to split. Our daughter wants to partake in all the prom festivities, including the hotel, and I'm perfectly okay with it. I did the exact same thing when I went to senior prom. Additionally, I trust our daughter to make good choices. My husband thinks it's a bad idea. He doesn't believe high school kids should be shacking up in a hotel. We've talked to our daughter about why she shouldn't drink or be in the car with someone who's been drinking. We've also talked to her about sex. My husband thinks I'm just trying to be her friend and not a parent. I think he's got to realize our daughter graduates in a few weeks and she'll be off to college in the fall. He's got to start letting go and trusting her. Is he being overprotective, or am I being too lax?
Wow, I probably, in cases like this, and I've been thinking about this actually quite a bit lately, I'm probably too lax in this area. I trust my kid. I trust Hollis a lot. But man, you put a 15 or a 16-year-old in a hotel room with all that temptation, all those friends. I don't know, man. It's a recipe. It feels like a recipe for disaster. And if it does, then I'm going to look back at myself and I'm going to go, what did I do?
All right, so they're not 15, 16. They're seniors. So my guess is we're talking 17, maybe even 18.
I don't know that makes it any better.
I know. If you want to, we did this my senior year. Like, we had a big group of people, and I remember the exact hotel that we got rooms at. And it was my high school boyfriend, and we had a room, and my best friend, Amanda, slept on the floor, so she totally ruined the mood. But yeah, we all got hotel rooms our senior year prom, and I was like, man, if my parents say yes, you should say yes.
I grew up in a pretty strict household, so I don't think I would even have had the heart to ask this, because I would have already known that this was a no. So if I were a parent, this would be incredibly difficult for me to do. And I do agree with the point that she's about to go to college, and it's not much you can do at that point. But as a dad, I would probably feel like that's the best time for me to let it go a little bit, because I don't have a choice. But until then, I don't know if I could go for this.
So I used to work with high schoolers back in Jacksonville. I was like the leader of a little youth group. And the one thing that I learned about strict parenting is that, sure, you can try and control your kid's circumstances, but at the end of the day, like, your kid is who they are. And if your kid is the type that's going to go out and rebel and binge drink and, you know, get a little spicy with their boyfriend, they're going to do that. It doesn't matter if you're going to let them or not. So I think if that's your fear, not letting her go to this hotel room is kind of a moot point. You got to trust your kid and know who they are and know they're going to make the right decisions regardless of what situation they're going to be in.
I think because we always bring our own personal experiences to when we're offering advice or we hear these different scenarios, right? And so, yeah, as a senior in high school, we had hotel rooms. I mean, nothing bad happened. We had a great time and it was a lot of fun. I also have a friend who had very, very strict parents, and we were friends in high school. And when she got to college, she lost her S. Yeah. I'm talking about, like, she had to leave freshman year because she was just so she went crazy. Like, she didn't go crazy. She went buck wild. I mean, with the drinking and the partying and because she had been so sheltered in high school, and she could not get away from that she ended up like doing the polar opposite of everything her parents wanted her to do. Yeah,
that was pretty much my story. My dad was really super strict. Like, the running joke in class always on Fridays was, what's Bert going to be on restriction for this weekend? Because if I got one thing out of I remember having to spend the weekend at home because I left a fork in the sink. I will never forget this, because my job always was to, like, clean up after yourself, put everything in the dishwasher. I left one fork in the sink and I got on restriction. So So when I finally wasn't under the control of my dad and I got to college, I got to San Diego State, I'm your friend, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no intention of studying whatsoever. I was like one of those bucking Broncos at the rodeo, man, and the gate was open,
Yep.
and man, that was me for 2 years. And it did not end well. I did not finish. But I mean, I didn't die, but I certainly didn't finish. And I would say the same thing. If you're that controlling of your kid, once they taste that freedom, they're going all in.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.